Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! It's true! Yet another fantastic, amazing episode of PoGokeRo Pirate Broadcast. Here you go, I'm adjusting the volume here a bit. Alright, I think that's it. La 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 la, I don't want to blow out your eardrums. Yo, hey, okay, here we go, I think that's it. Alright, hey, I can switch over. Oh yes, here. Hello, hi, yes, hello America. It is I, your host, once again, PoGokeRo, broadcasting the pirate signal out there into full moon America. Yar. Yes. What brings me to this amazing midweek adventure of announcing a pirate broadcast? This is not it, but I'm going to show you this anyways. This is the Auto Melon Farm designed by Rogue Fox. It's a water-based system rather than rail system because I don't really care about maximum efficiency. I just want to be lazy and collect melon, which I am doing. So that's what's up, and it's pretty easy, man. And it works. So there it goes, and it's back. And it looks stylish. I like it. It looks good. It looks nice. Oh yes. Okay. Variety of crops. Got potatoes. Carrots. Wheat. Some beets back there. I don't know what else I can plant. Yeah. Okay. So I started this pirate broadcast because things have somewhat escalated. It could very well be the work of just one random insane person. Very well, right? The problem with that assumption is that there has been a lot of positive reinforcement from prominent figures of authority, such as the president. Just the other day, he was talking about how it was great that Giafonte body slammed that reporter. The president of the United States saying, "Oh, it's all right, it's totally fine that a politician assault a reporter." Like, has Trump ever been body slammed? I don't know. I haven't seen him in his WWF days. I don't know if he did that kind of stuff or if he saved that for the actual wrestlers. He just trash talked. I don't know. I don't know what his shtick was back in when he was doing it. But like a body slam is like a serious thing. Like the ground is hard and you hit it at a bad angle and it can mess you up. So yeah. So the guy, and that's not the only time. In the past, he's been saying stuff like that all the time, calling the press the enemy of the people. I mean, like, holy crap! Wow, the president of the United States saying this? This is nuts. That's nuts. Calling the press the enemy of the people? That's what fascist dictators say. Okay. So what else is going on? So, yeah, like, okay, I'm talking crazy a little bit. Not really crazy. This is what's happening. It feels crazy because it kind of is. But what a weird timeline, huh? So the problem, I think, is that that Americans, and I think people in general, but Americans in particular, because of our media saturation, we have been conditioned to look for the markers of bad ideology to be in a certain way. We've just been conditioned for it. Like, the bad guy is going to be a Nazi, right? Like, it's going to look like a swastika and talk with a funny accent. And yeah, so because of our culture's, American culture's nostalgia for World War II, like, it's been like, it's like a feedback loop. That's what turns us on, so that's what they sell us. so we've like built ourselves. Here, I keep blowing out. Am I? No. So we've built ourselves into this vision that the Nazi is going to look like this, and fascism is going to look like this. And there's that saying, I don't know who said it, but yeah, when it comes to America, it's going to be wrapped in a flag and carrying a Bible. And it has, right? Look at, I mean, oh man, I don't know. Okay. So what's up? What else is going on? Oh man, I should have brought that up. I should have pulled that up before I came here. So here, we're gonna look at this, right? So we have this caravan of migrants, of refugees from Guatemala, coming up from South America, coming up to America. Right. They're fleeing the violence and the instability in their homes. Right. A relevant question would be, why is there violence and instability in their home? And if you look at it, it's the United States has a long, sordid history with Central and South America. The United States has been pretty mean to those people, pretty not nice. Like you want to blame the European powers for their colonialization, but the Americans over here have done like not such a nice job either. And I don't really know too well the history of it, but I know there's been a lot of history of U.S. intervention in the affairs of these weaker nations in South and Central America. Chile being like the one that comes to mind immediately with the coup, Pinochet, who is a fascist dictator. Hey, who killed like 3,000 people, which Trump called a success. So, yeah, just like Puerto Rico. That's what I'm getting at, right? Because he's a fascist dictator. Alright, so I'm saying all this, but like we're in the time of early voting, where we get to hope we can overcome the Russian hacking and the gerrymandering and the voter ID, voter suppression, and the corruption and the voter purges, and still hope to come out ahead, overcome all this BS, and still hope that the vote can, that our democracy is worth a damn. And it would be if we got a huge chunk of people who are not engaged. But it's to one group's benefit and the other group's detriment that this third group is unengaged. The key is to get this group engaged. And of course get your own group. But like that's the thing, like we live almost like, well oh man. Donald Trump has been talking a lot of things that dictators would say. Such as, hey, wouldn't it be great if I could have power forever? And, oh, if I lose, I'm not going to accept the results. Like, those are things that dictators say. And Donnie looks up to all the dictators and has been really mean to all the Democratic leaders. I mean, not the Democratic party, but of other nations, other democratic nations of the world that we used to be friends with. The person that we used to know. That I used to know. Like, oh boy, what happened to us? Right? Things have taken a bad turn, and it's happening quick. It's happening fast. So we have this election, and because of the peculiarities and the voter suppression of the GOP, like, I don't think the Senate is in play. I don't think the Senate's going to come through. I think the GOP cheated enough. They cheated a bunch. In North Dakota, they disenfranchised a whole bunch of Native Americans and said, oh, you have to prove that you're a citizen. What? Yo, they're the OG American. What are you talking about? That's awful. But that's the GOP, right? I call them Confederates. You can call them lackeys for Putin. I don't know. It makes me so angry. But this is what they've done as a party. So if you, individual out there watching this show, are a Democrat, or not a Democrat, a Republican, you should probably look real close at what the other side is saying. Like, look real close. Don't just shut it off, but like, look at it. Right? Because what I'm saying is not really hyperbole. Like, the GOP are the bad guys at this moment in time. So if you haven't voted yet, I really encourage you to go vote, because they're trying to stop you. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of apathy. People want to say, like, voting doesn't matter, man. Voting doesn't matter. I don't even care anymore, man. My one vote doesn't even count, dude. It doesn't. I don't even like. It doesn't even count. Like, why even bother? It's such a hassle. The reason why it's a hassle is because it works. The reason why it's a pain in the butt is because they really don't want you to vote, the other team. They really don't want you to vote. They would love if you would just give up and stay home, because that way they get to keep the power. So, I mean, that's kind of what's up, right? You got to look at it this way. What side is trying to get you to vote, and what side is trying to stop you from voting? Now, if you're an American, you want to spread democracy. And by spreading democracy, you strengthen your own democracy. I mean, that's kind of how it works. I mean, Captain Pones was telling me how the YouTube thing works and why I'm terrible at it. So what I'm supposed to do is go around and like and subscribe to other people, to other channels, and then maybe they'll like and subscribe to me too. But like, I don't ever like really watch YouTube, or do that really. So like, I don't. So then I don't grow. But then that's the way it is. So yeah, that democracy is the same way. Like, sure, it's cool if you're democratic, but if you're the only kid on the block, it's going to be hard to remain democratic. The more people who are democratic like you, the easier it is to maintain your democracy. And if we're American, then we understand that the Constitution, even if it's only your state constitution, right? Like, you don't even have to go to Washington, homie. Let's stick to local, right? Let's look at your state constitution. Right? The state constitution dictates democracy. So before you even look over there in Washington at the Constitution, go look at your own state constitution. But even that's kind of wonky, man. Nevada, I think, has in their state constitution a tax limit on mining corporations. What? It was put there like a long time ago and never taken out. The mining company was like, yeah, no problem. Nevada, dude. Okay. Looking at this beautiful diamonds. I should just mine them. Just mine them, dude. Alright. They're mined. I got them. See, look at. Oh, the tension relieved. Finally. They're in my possession. And not just hanging there. Okay. So, man, I just wandered. Let me look at my points here. So the migrant refugees are coming down. That's going to be used as a club to beat us over the head. How do we take care of that? Well, let's address it. I think we already have. But I don't think we've been, if we have, I haven't heard it. If it is, I don't really know what it is. My pick is about to break. Make a new one. So, yeah. I say, let him in. Yep, let him in, just let him in. Because if we don't just let him in, they're gonna sit there and someone's gotta take care of them. If we incarcerate them like Trump wants to do and then split them up, it costs the government, the taxpayers, us, money to house these kids, to pay for the federal employees to watch over them, or the contractors to watch over them. And then the federal government gets hit with the lawsuits, which is paid by the taxpayer, right? So the whole point of us holding on to them is kind of crazy. It's better to let them out, but keep tabs on them. That's way cheaper. Because then the burden goes on the relative who takes care of them. Right? As long as you, like, the idea is to, like, know who they are. Because, yeah, no one wants to let criminals in or crazy people in. That's nuts. But the vast majority of people coming in are not crazy criminals. But, yeah, you want to keep tabs on them, for sure, right? You want to get them processed and into the system. But you don't want to, you want to do it as easy as possible. So by incarcerating them, you make it as difficult as possible. And you make us look like crap in front of the whole world. We look dumb. We look stupid. Like, America's supposed to be the bastion of freedom and dignity of the human, and we treat people like that. We make artificial orphans. Like, what's the point of that? What? Like, oh, I guess that's white supremacy. Because that's got to be a relic, right? That's got to be a relic of something. Because that's not anything American. Well, I mean, it's in our history, right? But when it compared to American ideals, white supremacy doesn't fit in. So that has to be rejected. It has to be rejected. So making orphans just because they're brown is white supremacy. It's got to be rejected. You can't do it. That's just dumb. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Yeah, these are poor people. These are poor people. These are not like rich. These are not rich people. Like, okay, you're watching me on YouTube or on a phone. That's awesome. Like, awesome for you, right? That's great. So I'm telling you, you have to leave. Everything that allows you to watch YouTube on your phone or at home, you have to leave like right now. With only the things you can carry in your hands. Your phone's not going to work once you leave this country, because that's where you're going. And I'm going to pick you up with just the things you hold in your hand and the clothes on your back. That's it. And I'm going to drop you off in, hey, let's see, Lao. Good luck. Like, you have to get back. So, because you're now a refugee. People are going to treat you like, well, you think people will treat you like crap, right? Because if you're the kind of person that wants to punish the refugees, that's how I think, I don't know, maybe that's how you think you should treat refugees. And so when you become a refugee, that's what you expect people to do. But what's going to happen is that's not going to happen. People are super nice. I was in Laos, man. I was at a point where I had no idea what was going on, and I had a bunch of money that was like not of that country. And no real like yeah, I was kind of stuck in the middle of like nowhere, and the locals were just cool and like hooked it up. So like people are nice. Americans are nice people. You don't have to be afraid. I think you have to be afraid of the person telling you to be afraid. I'm telling you to be afraid of fascists. I wouldn't say afraid of fascists. I would say like fight them, confront them. So that's like the opposite of afraid. That's like rah. Because yeah, we don't want them to come out and take over the country. And Trump is their manifestation. Everything he's doing is like the Hitler book, which is like he has like a whole set of points on how to take control of a populace, and Trump is doing it by the T. It's like crazy to a T. I don't even know what that means. Where did that even come from? To a T. Anyways, so to deal with the migrants, it's not to be afraid of them. It's to welcome them, help them in, figure out why are you running from your country and what can America do to help, and process them. Because if they want to be American, there's things you gotta do. Steps you gotta take, things you gotta understand about how we do things here. And I appreciate that you want to come here. Like, I appreciate that you think that you believe that our country is so awesome that you would like that you trek thousands of miles amongst strangers with nothing except what you can hold it with your kids to come here and think that you'd be safe from things that will harm you. Like that, I feel kind of honored. Like, that's awesome. I hope we can live up to that. I believe we can. Of course we can. Of course we can. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So there's this big vote in Georgia between Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. Brian Kemp is also the GOP. He's the traitor. Not the traitor. He's the dirty guy. He's the guy who's the election guy. He's counting the votes, and he's also running for governor. So like, and man, the gerrymandering is insane over there, and there's all sorts of bad info. It's like the dirtiest, most intense, like the biggest voter suppression effort in a long time. Like it's amazing. They're trying to stop it so bad. I mean, cops are stopping buses full of seniors going to vote. And Brian Kemp is just dirty, dude. He's just corrupt. He's like the old boys network. When you talk about Confederacy, that's the dude right there. Where you do whatever it takes to hold power, regardless. It's not at all about democracy. It's about what I can do to hold power. Grr, that's not American at all, is it? I'll lose my shovel too here. Okay, see. So, Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi was the guy, the journalist, the U.S. resident who was murdered by the hit squad sent by Mohammed bin Salman. These guys are cold-blooded, dude. These guys are cold-blooded. After, like, everyone knows, the Saudis did this. I think the Turks found his body, his chopped up body, down the well of the consulate. And then the Turks are like, hey, can we check this other well? And they're like, no, you can't check it. You can look everywhere else, but you can't look in the well. No. Oh my God. Oh man. Cold-blooded. Listen. So everyone knows that this guy, Mohammed bin Salman, sent the hit squad to kill this guy, Jamal Khashoggi. So what does this guy do? What does this prince do? He orders the sons to come before a bunch of cameras to the palace and meet him and shake his hand. He says, oh, I heard about your father, I'm so sorry. Man, oh, that's cold-blooded. That's like, yeah, you can't leave. Because, yeah, there's some of his sons have U.S. Dual citizenship, Saudi, U.S. And the Saudis are like, yeah, you can't leave. See, this is what Trump wants. This is the direction that Trump is heading. Trump didn't want to do anything because it would endanger his deal. So the Saudis wired him like $100 billion or something, or $100 million. It was so dumb and blatant. I can't believe it. So yeah, so we have this election. This is our deal. And after this election, here's what I think might happen. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get at least one chamber of the House. We're gonna at least get the House. I'm not so sure about the Senate. Even if we do get the Senate, we won't get a majority. So the whole point is gonna be an uphill battle to get more Republicans to switch over and vote to impeach Trump. I think more indictments are going to come down after the election. So it's going to become harder and harder to pretend that Trump is not fatally compromised by Putin. I mean, after all, Trump agreed to go meet with Putin again in Paris to get like new orders from Putin. It's so obvious. Oh my goodness. Oh, it hurts me. Oh. Okay. So, I keep imploring you to vote because this is going to be the deal. We're going to get, if we can get both the Senate and the House, that's awesome. That would be the best. But I'd be happy with just getting the House because then we get subpoena power. And that's when we start uncovering all the gross, disgusting things that the GOP has been covering up. Okay. But you have to vote. You have to make it happen. And the only way it happens is by voting. Because there's everything fighting you. They have everything fighting against you to stop you from voting. You must vote. You must manifest that which is democracy, which is the vote. Like everything. Everything depends on you voting. You have to do it. Okay. Hey, check this out. I don't have... Oh, hey, I've been here before. I must have like just crawled along the top of it. Oh, that's the ocean up there. Hey, that's a lantern. Hey, I know where this is. I think. Where did I even start from? I'm under the deep sea tunnel. The undersea tunnel. Yeah. And that water column goes up to the ocean. Ah, very interesting. Ah, nice. Neat. Okay, hey, that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Past. Beyond the great sea wall. Or sea tunnel. Okay. So, okay, if we manifest it, you get one chamber of the house. And suppose we could impeach Trump, but we can't remove him. We can't convict him. Suppose that's what happens. So then the election comes up, and Trump goes against whoever the Democrats pick to run against him. And suppose Trump loses. Do you think he's gonna leave? Honest question. Do you believe that after losing an election, Trump would leave office willingly? Do you think he would do that? That's how dangerous of a place we're in now. Like, sorry to be alarming. No, I'm not sorry to be alarming. I mean, I intended to be alarming. This is why I'm doing it. I mean, you have to vote, you know? And because yeah, stuff is getting real. Look at they're sending out bombs, and it's a message. It wasn't sent out like it was sent out to all liberal people that Trump hated. That's exactly who it came out of. So we'll find out who the MAGA bomber is. The MAGA bomber. Oh. And when we do, like, I don't know, you want to claim like lone wolf conspiracy theorist, whatever, but that's been amplified by Trump himself. So that doesn't fly anymore. You can't say that anymore. Trump is amplifying it over and over and over again. I mean, his supporters were just chanting "lock her up" at the rally just now. I mean, why? Why would they lock her up? There's no reason. But yet it's the thing that binds them, right? This undemocratic chant for hooliganism. They're hooligans, basically. Lawless hooligans locking her up. What are you? So dumb. It's just to get them riled up, so that the next atrocious thing that happens on their side, they're okay with it because they're desensitized. Desensitized. I mean, look at how Nazis did it, right? Look at those gigantic, huge parades they had, right? It was to like shock and awe their people into compliance with whatever the regime did. It's not for others, it was for their own people. Trump lies all the time, but you can't tell that to his supporters. So I'm complaining and whining a lot. So I should stop. What can I say? It was beautiful. I noticed the fall colors coming in. Man, that's just so nice. I realize it's gonna be a mess, and it's a lot of work for a lot of people. Oh man. Oh no, here's the thing, here's a sad thing I saw. Oh man, that's another sad thing I saw. I was walking behind some high school students today. And as they were walking, they cut across, they gathered on somebody's property, somebody's lawn, just gathered on someone's lawn, just stood on the lawn. And then they cut across this other neighborhood, other neighbor's lawn, just straight across, just walked right across it, nothing. And then on this other person's lawn, they left a bunch of trash. And then they just kept walking. And I was so sad. I'm like, man, how do I talk to you and tell you that's not a good thing to do? How do I do that? Like, I couldn't be like, yo, don't do that, because that just drives them away. And why should they listen to me? I'm just some creepy old dude, right? So, what? But yeah, then that's just so bad, because like, but those property owners pay tax, which fund the great city we live in, and they get angry that they have to pay tax, especially when you do things to their property, because that's extra work for them. They have to clean it up. Or if you walk across it, that's just disrespecting it. That's not yours. Like, what if you like? How if you liked it if someone walked? What if you had a car? Like, oh, I have a car. Someone's like, oh, nice car, and they just walked on top of it, walked over on top of their car, and they just left. That's your car, right? But that's the equivalent of walking on someone's lawn. Like, sure, there's no fence, but like still, like, that's a nice lawn. They work really hard to maintain it. I watch them. I've watched them over the years. They worked a lot. It's a lot of work to maintain that lawn and to maintain that yard. And it's a lot. It's kind of disrespectful. It's like someone's car. They waxed really nice and shiny, and just like walk on top of it. Maybe you didn't hurt it this time, but yeah, you left a bunch of trash on it, and then you left. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, whenever I see young people out, not at school in the daytime, it concerns me, because education is like the way you're gonna do it. Education is how you're gonna see it. If you don't go through your education, then you're not gonna be able to see all the things that I can see, because you can see these things. Anyone can see these things, right? You all got a brain. Sure, it just takes time, and it's like a building block. You can't, like, look at my world, right? All this great stuff I couldn't have built unless I built the very first farm that I built. And you can, oh, it's the wrong way. And you can go back and look when I had like nothing, right? It takes a lot of time to come from nothing to like terraforming Earth and making gigantic tunnels with your diamond pickaxe. So, the same thing with education. You can't just expect to like understand everything. You have to get the very, very basics. And then you're gonna understand that knowledge starts transferring. Like, or not transferring, but like concepts. Things that work in one area, in one branch, also can work in totally unrelated branches. And if they don't work directly, the idea, like you can get the gist. It's sort of the same thing. So like, it's a multiplier effect. The more you know, the more you know, the better you can blend that knowledge and remix it to make other stuff. But the thing is, you have to learn it first. So you have to learn the very, very basics. So yeah, sure. Oh, I'm only learning geography and geology. Oh, that's so lame. No, it's not lame. It's super important to know that stuff, because you can see then, if you understand geography or geology, you can understand how, geology affects how our own history, present day history. You can, if you look along, okay, so check this out. America stole all the great land, all the great soil from Canada. It's true. During the Ice Age, there were gigantic gigantic glaciers, super tall glaciers, like taller than mountains. Well, I wouldn't say that, but really tall glaciers. Really, and this is an ice sheet, and it grew from the north, and it grew down all over Canada. So that's ice scraping Canada just scraped it bare. Scraped it. And then, as it picked up more and more crap, it all went up on the glacier. And then the earth warmed up, and all those glaciers retreated. And all the soil and all the ground up rock that the glaciers made, as it retreated, it deposited it in America's breadbasket, the Great Plains. It just left it, just gobs of this awesome topsoil that was all scraped off of Canada. So when you go to Canada and you go to the north, the reason why they don't do farming up there is because, well, number one, permafrost, right? The ground is like permanently frozen. And even if it weren't permanently frozen, you have about like that far you can go down in soil before it's just straight rock, bedrock, like the rock of the earth. There's nowhere for roots to go. So roots can't go anywhere. You're not gonna grow anything. That's why the only thing that lives out there is like lichen, little tiny like moss, and like maybe the tiniest shrubs, because that's the only thing that can survive on the littlest bit of soil that's there, because it was all scraped off and deposited over in America. So wait, it gets better. Okay, so that explains why America has this great breadbasket and Canada doesn't. But what's this other part? So if you look, there's a band. If you look at a map of America, there's this band of black people, of a concentration of black Americans. For some reason, just right. Why is there this weird band through the South? There just happens to be a whole bunch of black people there. Well, the land there, it was really good for soil, for farming. So they had really big plantations there. So that means they had a lot of slaves there. And so when slavery ended, the slaves didn't go anywhere. They were still there, right? They just had nothing. So when you're an ex-slave and you have nothing, and now the plantation owner is not the plantation owner anymore. He's a farmer now, right? He's the landowner. He owns all this land. He's like, here, ex-slave, I'll make a deal with you. You guys grow crops, and then I get a share of whatever crops you grow. And that was the deal, because the newly freed slave, the newly freed black person, black American, like had nothing. So he grew all these crops, and then the landowner he was a sharecropper, would come and take 90% of the crops, and he was left with 10% that he would have to feed his family with and take to the market and compete against the landowner who's selling the same crops but cheaper because he has lots of them. Oh man. Do you see how slavery continued? The Confederacy continued even after we beat the quote Confederacy. It never died, dude. It morphed. So, but the reason why there's this band of black people who were sharecroppers, who lived right here, this strange concentration of black people, is because that's the part when the glaciers retreated. That's the part where they left the best part. Like, that's the farthest they went. So it was all pushed up to right there. So events from like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 years ago, 30, 40,000 years ago, events from 40,000 years ago, geological events, created this political reality So, do you see how two different bits of knowledge can like blend together? Like, the more you know, that's why you have to do education, because the more you know, the more you can know. And the tapestry becomes like brighter. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know how to say it, but just things become deeper. So kids stay in school, like sit through geography, and because it's gonna matter. I'm telling you, everything. Yeah, I'm telling you. The more you know, the more you know. So, do I have time to pick it up? Yeah, here's a trope. I'm gonna pick it up. Pardon me. Here's a trope in the right wing that I hear a lot about, quote the violent left wing mob. Like, I hear that's their deal now. So and they're scaring the old people with it. It's terrible. They're scaring old people with it. So here, let's see. What were the key words here? Right wing terrorism, extremist, murder, U.S. It's a Wikipedia. There it is. I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna go immediate chart. I'm gonna change this guy real quick. Hold on. Oh yeah, how you looking at it? Let me change this real quick, guys. Sorry. Browse. Desktop. Okay. Do you not love this awesome? Oh crap! Look at that. That's terrible. Here we go. All right. Can we add the camera in here? That'd be great. Let me see. So, add a camera. There we go. Hey, okay. Oh no, I'm too big. There we go. All right. So hey, check this out. I'm gonna show this. Talk to you about this. Let me see. Is this showing up on my YouTube? Yeah, it is. Okay, so hey, let's look at this, right? This is a chart of ideologically motivated right-wing murders by category from 2008 to 2017. So from the end of around the end of the Bush era to about right before Trump. So you're gonna see there, I see that there's a whole bunch of right-wing attacks and almost no other terrorism, right? So this is an example. This, my friends, this is an example of what they say, projection. They're projecting onto others what they are. Trump does this all the time. So don't be fooled by their. This is on Wikipedia, right? You don't have to. Like, it's not a hidden fact. It's common knowledge. The problem is that fascists. Remember, the enemy of fascists is truth. So Trump lies constantly. So the right wing will lie constantly because that's what they do. So you have to maintain. You have to watch for the sun. You have to always use the sun to orient yourself. The sun being, a metaphor for the truth, the light, whatever. So when we check out their claim that the left-wing mob and Antifa, rah rah rah. The truth is, it's all right-wing. It's all right-wing terrorism. That's the problem in America, is that we have right-wing terrorism. Well, we have a fascist government right now, so of course. So hey, I made a mine. I don't know what else I did. What time is it? 49 minutes. Topics. Oh God, yeah. So I don't know how many other ways I can tell you that Trump is anti-American, but here's another way. You know that mesothelioma. Have you been diagnosed with mesothelioma by asbestos? Give us a call. Rah, rah, rah. Well, that stuff, asbestos, that stuff that's been banned, Trump took away the ban, and now there's a Russian company in Russia. It's going to export it to America with a label with Trump's face on it. and it's gonna be put into into buildings, like like homes and office buildings, like probably on the East Coast, where in the South, where they just got hit by hurricanes, right? And they're gonna put these in these buildings so that the next time there's a hurricane and all that stuff gets torn out, the workers get to breathe all that in, and they get to be the next generation of mesothelioma cancer people. That's awful. Thanks, Trump. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? See, that guy is not on Team America. Trump is on Team Trump. And incidentally, because he's on Team Putin, and he uses an iPhone that's unsecure. So the Chinese are listening in on his stuff too. Like, he just does not care. He's terrible. Oh my gosh. How have we fallen to this depth? I don't know. Maybe we just gotta like clean house. That's why you gotta vote. People have done a lot. People have spent their lives ensuring that you can vote. You gotta do it. I mean, look at it. There's a whole force. There's an entire army pit against you to stop you from voting. How can you not just take the power and do it anyways, despite them? Yeah, wow. So I voted. I got that stuff in quick. But in Oregon, it's easy because we get it all mailed to us. So that's why it's so funny to say voter fraud, voter suppression, or call voter fraud. Oh my God, voter fraud! We need to check people's ID. Oh my God, voter fraud! Oh my God! No! No! We do mail-in ballots. They mail it to people. So if you want to talk about voter fraud, I was talking to some lady who said that she hadn't changed her registration, so they would mail her ballot to her dad, who would fill it out for her and mail it in. That's voter fraud. That's crazy, but then that's on her for not keeping her registration up to date. I mean, really, there should be a lot more. Assistance, I think, for states to maintain their voter registration and for citizens to maintain voter registration. It should be automatic with your driver's license, really, with anything like that. And because that would make sure that you have like proper voter registration. But once you have voter registration, you don't need voter ID. Why would you need to show ID at that point? Like, you have your ballot mailed to where you live. Just go home and do it. Unless someone steals your ballot, but that's a whole other crime, right? But then, in order for that kind of voter fraud to make a difference, you would need to steal everyone's ballot. Like thousands and thousands, millions of ballots. That's infeasible. You can't do it. Like, it just can't be done. People are going to complain, or people who get their ballots stolen are going to go just vote in person. Say, F you guys. I'm going to vote in person. So that invalidates your what's it called? Your mail-in ballot. And so they have to sign for it, and they can only do it once. So they'd have to impersonate people like thousands of times. But there's not thousands of voter places to go to. So like, you have to make disguises so people don't recognize you, as well as forge things, as well as have perfect knowledge that the person you're impersonating is not going to show up and have already voted. It's just so impossible to do voter fraud. Oh man. So what it is voter suppression. Just one more way to get them to stop you from voting. When there's a train station up here. Okay, Yeah, so gotta vote. What other interesting, awesome things can I talk about? I keep harping about voting, man. No one's gonna want to watch this and listen to someone bitch about voting. Oh, I mean, oops, sorry. Yeah, gotta vote. Okay, something interesting happened. Something interesting happened. I saw my friend, my neighbor, make a music video on his cell phone. That guy's working hard. Making a music video on a cell phone. There's gotta be a better way. But when you lack resources, things become very difficult. Yeah. Oh well. So hey, I've been going for almost an hour. Yeah. This will do it. Okay, man. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it's escalation. Trump's rhetoric has been about violence for a long time. I'm telling you, defend yourself, but don't be violent. And that violence comes in many forms. Gaslighting is a form of violence. It's a mental form of violence. So don't let them gaslight you. That's what trolls are for. That's what trolls are doing. Trolls are gaslighting you. That's a form of mental abuse. So if it didn't matter, they wouldn't try to stop you. That's what I'm saying. Alright, America, good luck in your voting, early voting, and I will see you this weekend. Stay strong, don't be afraid. They're selling fear. Know who is selling the fear, and then laugh at them. Alright, peace out.